Terastallizing your Pokemon is a feature exclusive to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and has a lot of benefits when it comes to both competitive and casual play. Terastallizing will essentially make your Pokemon a stronger version of itself, but it can also change the typing of it as well, so it can actually have a pretty big influence when it comes to your team composition. What's even more useful is that you're able to change the type which a Pokemon terastallizes into by using Tera Shards. There are individual Tera Shards for every single type in the game, and you'll need 50 of them in order to change a Pokemon's Tera form into that type. So this video will be showing you where to get Tera Shards in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and I'll even show you where and how to change your Pokemon's Tera form as well. So the first place that you can find Tera Shards is generally just out in the wild when you're walking around. If you see any sparkles on the floor or the red Pokeballs, then make sure to pick them up, as there's actually a chance that these could be Tera Shards. The only annoying thing about this is there's no guarantee of what type that Tera Shard might be, but if you just keep picking them up, then eventually you're going to get the ones you want. This is by far the slowest way of doing it, as you're relying a lot on RNG, but if you're out and about anyway, then it can't hurt to pick up every single item you see. The second way is to take part in Tera Raids that are 3-star or above. Now, Tera Raids are everywhere around Paldea, and you'll be able to identify them very easily by the massive beam of light that's sparkling out of a rock on the ground. If you go up to the rock and click A, then you'll be able to start a Tera Raid battle. Then, as soon as you've defeated or caught the Tera Pokemon, you'll actually get a load of items come up on your screen. And if that raid was a 3-star or above, then Tera Shards can actually be in this pool of rewards. So seeing as there's so many of them to do, you might as well go around battling all of them and then picking up as many shards as you can find. I'd say this is probably the best way of actually getting them, but of course it's going to be quite grindy, as every single Tera battle takes around 5 minutes. But if you've got a lot of patience and you really want to change your Pokemon's Tera type, then this is going to be your best bet. Then the third and final way that you can get your hands on Tera Shards is by defeating the wild Tera Pokemon that roam around the region. These again are identified by a large beam of light coming out of them, but it won't stretch up as high as the raid ones. Also, when you see them, they'll be moving around, so it should be a little bit more obvious that it's a wild Tera Pokemon. And if you just defeat a ton of these, you're going to get drops from them, and those drops can actually give you Tera Shards. If you haven't realised by now, all of these options are quite grindy, and they require you to explore Paldea extensively. The only time you're ever going to get given a ton of Tera Shards is when you actually first unlock the ability to change your Tera types. So in order to unlock the ability to actually change your Tera type, you need to come to a town called Medali in the West Province 3 area. If you're looking at the map from the zoomed out perspective, it's just northwest of the Great Crater of Paldea. And once you get to here, you'll want to go to the Medali East Pokemon Center. Then once you've loaded in, you go back on yourself and into this building on the left here, which is actually really distinctive as it's basically just on its own compared to everything else. Just to pre-warn you, you are going to have to go through the Medali Pokemon Gym Challenge to do this, but once you manage to figure that all out, you just go back into this area and it's actually really straightforward. So the first time you come back into this restaurant, you'll now be able to speak to the chef behind the bar. And immediately for just doing this, you'll actually receive 50 normal type Tera Shards. Then all you need to do is simply talk to the chef and he'll offer to change your Pokemon's Tera type for you. And if you have 50 or more Tera Shards of a specific type, then that option is going to come up on the list of ones that you can change it to. So once you know where to go and what to do, it's actually really straightforward. If this video helped you out in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, be sure to watch this other video on screen now, as I guarantee it's going to help you even more.